I'm Dr. Rachel Griffiths, and I'm with my father and partner in aquatics.
Dr. Tom Griffiths.
Welcome to the Drowning Files, where each week we share a lawsuit we've been involved in or another true story with suggestions to learn from these tragedies to save lives. What case do you have today?
Well, today I have another tragic drowning case that settled, as most of our cases do. They don't go to jury trial; they settle for an undisclosed amount of money. Um, and this was an open water case, and we seem to be having more and more of these cases in the open water, where a municipality had a lake that they operated and maintained as a swimming area. And what they did in this particular case was they added a lot of water features, very colorful uh, animals, hard PVC plastic type structures in the water that kids could climb up on and slide down and so forth. And the problem with this particular facility was that while they had lifeguards on duty, they had so many of these ducks in the water and elephants in the water, very colorful, playful type things that were spouting water and had water running down them, that it attracted toddlers from the shoreline with and without their parents to play in knee deep and waist deep water. But they didn't have enough lifeguards or enough attendants to watch each and every one of these play structures. And so these very lovely, I'll call them large toys in the water, had blind spots. If you were on the beach and your child got on the far side of that structure away from you, you wouldn't be able to see them. And these were not the inflatable devices. These were the old-fashioned um, hard plastic structures that were mounted in the water. They weren't floating; they were anchored to the bottom, kind of like horses on a carousel where they're mounted to the bottom and they may move up and down. Well, these play structures were hard plastic play structures that were uh, secured to the bottom of this lake. So, as you would expect, parents were watching their child from blankets on the beach, and they weren't in the water with their children when a young girl disappeared. And of course, later, after they performed a search, they couldn't find her. They cleared the water. They found her on the bottom near this colorful elephant. And we just had to surmise that the parent got distracted on the blanket on the shoreline, wasn't with the child wasn't wearing a life jacket, and she drowned on the backside of that elephant. And so this case, the parents brought a lawsuit against the facility for not safeguarding the child. But of course, the facility, their defense was that the parent wasn't watching their child. And so they said they were the ones that were at fault. A lot of finger pointing going on, as usually is the case. Uh, and so that was the case, and it settled relatively quickly. Um, this lake did not have a life jacket program. They, in fact, did not allow life jackets. And so if this child was wearing a life jacket, I do believe she would have been alive today. But they didn't have an adequate number of lifeguards or attendants, because this was very shallow water around these features in the water, and the parent was not in close proximity to the child. So there was enough blame to go around on both sides, but it settled, and the family received a A modest settlement. I mean, it was significant amount of money, but of course, it never replaces the child. And that's basically the case I have for you.